Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Brother Sean Brumfield, and the crew's here today. Brother Jonathan Mitchell.
How's it going, everyone?
And Brother Ryan Brown.
Hey, everybody.
I caught you off guard, didn't I?
No.
Yeah, you kind of did us out of order.
I did.
I was here getting ready to say, hey.
I was kind of hoping you would have. That's what I was waiting on. I was waiting for him to go, hey, oh, that's not me, everybody.
Threw everybody off kilter. We're all cattywampus already.
See? It is a good word to use, isn't it? We're
I've not used it. I've not used it since I heard it last week.
I got a question for you guys. You guys eat a lot while you drive?
I don't like eating and driving.
No, I don't.
Do you?
Oh, spending my life on the road, a lot of times you do a lot of eating and driving.
Okay, I do. I mean, I guess if I'm like forced to, but if I don't have to, I try not to.
Okay, it's funny you asked this. On the way home, so Wednesday nights we don't cook dinner. We eat on like after service, and Alyssa has to eat immediately. And I'm like, I want to wait till I get home. Like, let's pick up something and eat it at the house. And she's like, I'm starving now. You better feed me. So what I'll do is I'll end up getting her something to eat and me something to eat. She'll eat hers, and I'll wait till we get home. Because I just don't like being messy while I eat.
Yeah.
And we always go to the messiest places. It's either we eat a lot of Taco Bell after service, which the grease gets all over you because it drips out of the taco or whatever. Or, I love a Whopper. Those are not the most cleanest sandwiches to be eating either. So, yeah, that's my take.
So, and I asked this question in jest, but seeing how we had a promise from our pessimistic partner over here, Brother Jonathan, that he was going to be more positive this episode, I have to clarify something. Do you guys like donuts?
Love donuts.
Oh, yeah.
All right, see, man, you're already on the right foot.
I love donuts.
Okay, now I got a third question. If you're eating and driving and you drop a portion of your food, do you try to pick it up?
Yeah. If I can get it to keep it clean, yeah. I don't like having a dirty car.
I'm just going to let you in on a secret. There's not much that I drop.
Yeah, I don't really. You know what I drop more than anything? French fries. If I'm trying to eat fries.
It'll be falling, and as it's falling, I'm like, I'm trying to wig myself to catch it before it goes.
I eat French fries like a drink. Like if I go to McDonald's. I will say, so I guess I can have
a fried smoothie.
Pretty much. I take the container and I kind of just like tilt it up so that way none of it gets out.
Oh, I eat French fries that way too.
I do towards the end of like the bottom of the box. I do.
You just like a dog at its food bowl, man. Just
so okay. So
go to town with them bad boys.
That's too messy for me.
Here's a good question then. What do you think the easiest food is to eat while you're driving?
The
Sandwich.
easiest food?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what sandwich you get.
I mean, a McDouble's pretty easy to eat.
That is.
That's kind of what I thought. But for me,
or chicken nuggies.
Chicken nuggets is probably, if you don't do the sauce.
Yeah.
Because with the McDouble or the double cheeseburger.
Not to get too far away from your story, though, where you're pulling into. What is the best nuggies, since we're going with sauceless?
What do you, okay, so out of what?
I think primarily most people are going to think like McDonald's or Wendy's.
Wendy's.
It changes for me. But if you gun to my head, I think I'd pick McDonald's, McNuggets.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think I would go McDonald's too, simply because I can get a 20-piece and not get judged there.
Yeah, but Wendy's does spicy nuggets.
I don't have to have the spicy.
Man, they're
with
spicy.
I like the ranch with the spicy nuggets. I think it's the skin of the chicken McNugget from McDonald's that I like more.
Okay.
It's got a sweetness about it.
So here's the deal. The McDonald's chicken nugget does not feel like chicken to me. Which I know it's not. It's chicken slime. But I will choose any other McNugget over McDonald's every time.
But you know how I kind of know you're not raw. You're kind of a little being disingenuous. You keep calling everything a McNugget.
Okay, so that is something that's really funny because...
Hold on. What does disingenuous mean?
Not being 100%, not being honest.
not being genuine.
Not being genuine.
They're chicken McNuggets.
Did you not think I could use that word in a sentence? Are you questioning my intelligence? You know what? I'm going to be positive. I understand where you're coming from with some of my previous takes. Thank you.
So going back to the reason why I asked those questions,
hold on, wait a minute. You can leave me off from the edge like here?
Yeah.
I was serious. I was like, what does that even mean? I was being genuine.
He was not being disingenuous.
I can use some nice words.
I wasn't really questioning you. I was honestly asking what that meant. Yeah.
Yep.
So thank you for making fun of me in my ignorance.
So the McNugget
so
thing
sorry.
is not because I order McNuggets. My kids order nuggets from McDonald's. I've got one that'll still eat McNuggets. But because it's about the only place, let's just be completely transparent, the chances of me ordering chicken nuggets are like 0.5 out of 10.
Really?
I'm a burger every time.
Why can't you have both?
I just don't order them. I'm not
I just
against
want to
them.
let you know that McDonald's has a 2 for $6 deal right now. You get a Big Mac or quarter pounder plus nuggets for $6.
And I will also say that if I go with that meal, I'll give my nuggets to one of the kids. I just don't.
I'm more than likely
likely
going to order 2 10-piece nuggets.
I just don't eat them. I mean, I'll eat chicken. I love chicken, but I just don't. I'm not a chicken nugget.
Okay, because I was about to ask
He is
you.
older than us.
Well, no, I was about to ask you.
I order Jell-O.
Applesauce.
Well, you can slurp it out of the thing.
I was going to ask you because you really, I mean, okay, just to be clear, you think Chick-fil-A is overrated, which is strictly chicken, and you're now saying you didn't like chicken nuggets that much.
I didn't say I didn't like chicken nuggets. I just don't order them.
I just want to know if you're not a chicken guy.
Oh, I love fried
You
chicken.
know what he's trying to do? He's trying to get you to say you hate something. It's what he's trying to do.
No, I am
right now, so that
not.
he
I am
looks like
not
he
baiting.
loves
I'm
something.
trying to get to the root cause of the issue.
He's
I
not
love-
trying to be disingenuous.
I love fried chicken. And I love chicken sandwiches if they're good.
Therefore, he orders the McCrispy.
I still can't believe that you said that the McCrispy is better than the Chick-fil-A sandwich, Brother Sean. I cannot believe
And you know what? Ryan was right behind me. He said, you know what? I order more of those than I do.
Well, yeah, I mean, but generally I go to McDonald's more than I go through Chick-fil-A.
McDonald's is more accessible.
So that would throw that in. But again, 90% of the time I'm ordering a burger.
Yeah.
I like beef more than I like chicken.
So back to your point about donuts.
Okay. So I was
Well,
reading.
speaking of which, you can get donuts at McDonald's now.
Krispy Kreme, they're not
Krispy
hot
Kreme
fresh.
donuts?
Yeah, I don't like Krispy Kreme unless they're hot.
Because they're not crispy nor creamy.
Unless they're hot.
And they're spelled wrong.
I would get a donut from a bakery before I go to like a Krispy Kreme.
Well, 100% everybody would.
But
Krispy Kreme is
Krispy
convenience.
Kreme are just as I mean
It's like
they're-
Waffle House. It's convenience.
Yeah, that is true.
And the fact, really, Krispy Kreme. So I like Krispy Kreme if they're hot and fresh. Now, if I can't get the hot and fresh glaze, I'll get the chocolate ice from Krispy Kreme because at that point, that's my go-to donut. Period.
Boston cream.
I'm not a huge fan of
Delicious.
cream filling in a donut.
Really?
It's actually a custard.
I like peanut. Like I've
Isn't
had.
that weird? It's a custard, but then you go to get a Long John and it's filled with cream
Why would that be weird?
because it's called a Boston cream, but it's filled with custard and not cream.
I guess that's true. I like either one of them.
Wow.
But anyway, this
Speaking of
guy
rabbit trails, there you go.
this guy was driving, and he was enjoying his donut and coffee while he was driving, and he dropped a piece of his donut. As I'm reading this news
Hold
story.
on. This is a news feed?
Yeah, this is
Wait.
this is a legit news feed. Well, this wasn't going to be the news of the day. I figured you had. But
Oh.
anyway, that's fine.
Well, we have 2 news of the day.
So this So this guy is, in the words of the headline, enjoying his donut and coffee. But he's driving. And he drops a piece of his donut and he goes to fetch said piece of donut. And in the time that he spent to fetch this piece, he goes into the opposite lane of traffic and causes a multi-car pileup.
I don't mean to laugh. Okay, before I laugh. was
No,
anybody hurt?
well, some people were sent to the hospital. They did have to cut somebody out of their car, but they were sent to the hospital with non-life-threatening injury.
Okay, then you can laugh.
Listen, when you said fetch, I thought of a dog. Like I wasn't even.
Well, I
think of
mean,
a human.
I'd go for the donut though. I would do the same thing if I was that guy.
seriously? If I drop something on the floor, it's staying on the floor for years.
Depends on what it is.
I like how you looked. You were dreaming.
I'm thinking.
This is one of the times where I wish we could have a video because the way you were like looking, you were dreaming of like if it was a Whopper, I'm going for that puppy.
I mean,
Are you fetching it?
I'm thinking if I drop a donut, no. If I drop a croissant sandwich, yeah, I might go after that croissant sandwich.
It's just one of those deals where you get a picture of people driving. Sometimes driving can test your sanctification.
Oh, 100%.
And so I just get this out view of this dude holding a cup of coffee in one hand and chowing down on a donut in the other.
Driving with his knees.
And there's always that one piece that you take a bigger bite than your mouth can fit, and it falls off the corner of your mouth. And I want to just understand the thought process of I'm going to take my eyes off the road. I'm hardly driving now anyway because I'm thoroughly enjoying my cup of coffee and my donut. But I know that it will be perfectly fine for me to bend down and go for a piece of a donut.
Yeah, so if I do go down for food, I'll wait till I stop.
Go ahead.
I won't do it in oncoming traffic, but I'll wait till I stop.
Like I said, it's just, it paints this picture. And how would you like to be the dude that is cut out of their car? Which I don't know. It could have been a dudette. I have no idea. I don't know if it was a guy or a girl. But how would you like to be the individual who is getting the information from the cops that your car accident was caused by somebody who was so wrapped up in their donut they crossed over into oncoming traffic?
I will tell you this. You want to talk about trying your sanctification? One day, me and Lissa, we were going somewhere, and I can't even remember where we were going. I think we were going to church. I think it was the last minute. I think we had service on a Saturday night or something like that. And we decided we were going to go through Chick-fil-A. And
God's chicken tested your patience, your sanctification.
It sure did. That's why it's not God's chicken. But I'll tell you this. Here's the thing. It wasn't the chicken that made me mad. She had placed a napkin on top of my leg and sat my fries there. And I went around a corner too fast, and all my waffle fries went into the floor.
So that wasn't Chick-fil-A's fault. That was Lissa's fault.
No, that was his fault.
That was my fault.
Oh, for putting them in your lap.
The way that it happened, she was placing them on my lap as I was making my turn, is how it happened. It was the waffle fries that I like from Chick-fil-A that I was so upset about. I cried a little bit. It made me mad. I'm just being honest with you. It wasn't tears of sorrow. It was tears of I could kill myself for losing those fries.
Thank you for being honest, by the way. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Genuinely.
You know what, though?
I was not disingenuous. Is that how you said that? Disingenuous?
Disingenuous. You know, you were talking about what the person's first thought would be. Like if a cop told me, like, the reason why you had to get yanked out of a car was because the dude was enjoying his donut. You know what I would be thinking?
It was a cop.
No, I'd be thinking cha-ching. That'd be what I would be thinking. If I was okay, I mean, obviously, if they had to be taken to the hospital, they weren't that okay. But I would be thinking, I'm getting paid because this dude's about to owe me a lot of money.
Well, I mean, that depends, though. Because what if you're driving the car that you just absolutely love?
Oh, it'd be devastating, for sure.
So, and even if you, speaking of somebody who's been through a car accident or two, it leaves effects. It messes with your body.
Well, I'm sure. And so I have a story. I've never been in a serious car accident, thankfully. Knock on wood.
I don't know if that's real wood.
Oh, it is.
Oh, okay.
But
It's pressed wood, but it's real wood.
I know. So my mom's car got stolen out of our driveway.
Mm-hmm.
It was winter, and she started the car. And from the moment she just walked in to start her car to the moment she went to go get basically her stuff to go to work, so about maybe 2 or 3 minutes, someone had jumped in the car and took it. And it took about 3 or 4 days, but they got the car back. And the car wasn't totaled, but it was in pretty rough shape. And my mom eventually got the car back, but she could never, ever get over the fact that her car was stolen. So she couldn't keep the car, and she had to trade it in and get rid of it because there was too much trauma involved with it. So I definitely can understand the perspective of like when you're in an accident and something like that. I guess, like I said, I shouldn't be talking like, oh, I'm just thinking of a payday because I've never been in an accident. But just that was kind of my knee jerk thought when you said that.
Would you like to hear from an insurance expert? You many people that don't have insurance enough to cover your car in an accident? The state minimum is $25,000. How much does a normal car cost nowadays?
Yeah.
You buy a truck, $65,000. Somebody hits you, they're only going to pay $25,000 max. The rest you have to claim on your own insurance.
It's no fun.
Make sure you're not underinsured, people.
But some people, I don't know that a donut is worth
I don't think so.
it.
No, it's like texting and driving.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I don't do that. So I genuinely,
It's illegal here in the state of Ohio.
if I dropped a food item and I was driving, I'm not going to bend down and compromise my view of the road to pick up food. There's no food. I don't think there's any food that would be worth me bending over.
Is there any food that I would put over somebody's life?
No.
I don't know. There's some killer pizza out there.
Or a steak, maybe.
Ba-da-bop.
You have the soundboard for that. You could have played that.
Oh, I do, don't I?
I don't know
Oh,
which
well,
one
I was
it
too
is.
late for that.
Yeah, a little late. But no, I think
Are we ready for the word of the day?
Is that what you want to go to?
Yeah, that's next.
Word of the day.
word of the day.
Okay, so my word today is flump.
Flump?
Flump. F-L-U-M-P.
Are they relatives of Trump?
Flump. No.
The failed the failed relatives of Trump.
It's the Democrat version of Trump. Flump. Sorry, guys.
Flump. What do I think of?
I think a flop is what I think of. It's just one of those, like, bring down words. You know what I mean?
I thought of like a hill, like a lump.
Or like
A half
flooding in a low ground or something.
a half lump.
You go down there.
A half lump is a
Yeah.
flump.
Down there at the bottom of the
It's
holler.
a failed full lump.
Yeah, you think of like you get down. I think of like a low place flooded. You know, you're like down at the bottom of the holler. It's flumped out there.
The fact that you put it in a sentence without knowing what it means is hilarious.
Wait, was it right?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. Well, you know,
You were more on the track
with flop.
with the flop.
Oh, well, you
Yeah.
know, hey, that's the old Kentucky.
And for whatever
blood
reason,
coming
you
out.
turned into the holler flumped.
Yeah, the bottom of the holler is a flump.
I would say it's a flump is a lump that is not full.
Those gas station prices down there at the bottom of the holler flumped.
So the meaning of flump is the action or sound of a heavy fall.
Like,
So,
so
like when-
flump is the action and thump is the sound.
No, it's the action or sound of a heavy fall. So you could say, if you hear the sound, you could say, that sounded like a flump.
Flump.
That's the reason why I chose this word, because I can seriously hear myself using it at this point on.
You will. It'll be in Sunday's sermon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I just thought of like
when
when you said
David threw the rock at Goliath and Goliath fell, he flumped.
He went flump. I feel like there should be a big old flump at the end of that.
it's like a sound
Yeah,
effect.
flump.
That's so that was the in its noun form. In its verb form, it's fall or sit down heavily.
Like you flumped after you did your bow last week.
Wow. I'm trying to be positive and you're making it
I know we're
challenging.
testing you, man.
It's fine, I can do it. I just thought of myself falling downstairs. I would be flumping because it's a large object falling downstairs.
Okay,
Slide
so-
down here's flump, 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 flump.
So now that you know the definition of that word, there's also a food that's called flump.
it's
is it-
Greek, isn't it?
Is it a mixture of a plum and something?
No, it's British. A British sweet made of marshmallow.
Oh, I have heard of that.
Yeah,
I've heard of that.
I bet it flumps.
I bet it's good. It's full of marshmallow.
It flops.
So if you use flump in a sentence, just a few seconds later, we heard a big old flump, and he landed out in a soybean field. I'm just
Why
looking
a
this up on
soybean
AI.
field?
I don't know.
So if a tree falls out in the forest and nobody's there to hear it, did it flump?
Clunk, flump went the brush and rag as Mama dropped them into the pail.
When you said like a large, I just think of like a bigger person falling.
Why'd you look at me when you said that?
Okay.
If you look up why it is called flump, some authorities suggest a blend of flop and plump, which have similar meanings. Others suggest a purely imitative origin, as with dump and slump.
So is it technically an onomatopoeia?
What's that?
Like pop, boom, pow.
See, I don't know what an onomatopoeia is.
I don't know, but I am going to say this.
I think that's what it is.
I'm going to use.
Go to the Googs.
Flump.
I'm going to use flump. I just got to figure out the right way to put it in a title.
I got to be honest with you guys. I want to Google onomatopoeia so bad, but I don't even know how to spell it.
When Goliath flumped.
The flumping giant.
Oh, that's not gonna work.
That might sound a little.
Yep.
Slumping.
Okay, so just to prove that the Google listens to you, Brother Sean,
Oh,
one of the questions that pulled up is flump and onomatopoeia. Right here. I didn't type that in. That came up.
and
because it listens to
cattywampus
us.
is in there
Yeah,
too.
what is the sentence for cattywampus? Is flump an onomatopoeia? Flump in British English. An onomatopoetic word. An onomatopoeic word.
Okay, my head hurts. We're using too many big words. I'm out of my comfort zone. Let's go back to flump.
So that's the word of the day. Flump.
Word of the day.
Dude, that's hilarious.
Flump.
I love how you were so flabbergasted by the way that I used it in a sentence before knowing that.
Well, I just think it was hilarious that you were like, you know that holler over there? It flumped.
Yeah,
It's flumped over there.
It's flumped.
But hold on a minute. Can you not see your Appalachian countrymen saying that?
I could
Your
see them,
kinfolk?
I could see them saying flump before. What was last week's
That
word?
flat flumped.
Before they use cattywampus?
Yeah.
Nah, they'd use cattywampus.
I'd guarantee they
But
use
what
flump.
how they would use it, they wouldn't say that holler's flump. They would say, "Old Junior down there flumped in that flooded holler."
I'm talking about like just like using it as like their own like.
Did you say Big Bertha
Slang.
over there getting in the creek? She flumped all over the place.
Why'd it have to be Big Bertha?
Because it's what he said. He pictured a fat person doing it.
Uh,
A
That's pretty
big
funny.
bodily person.
a big
Hold
boned.
on. Was a great woman.
What was the hippo word? The very first one.
Oh my goodness. I don't know.
Hippomena, but
So my boy
Hippo
Ben,
minstrels.
told me that he sent an email with that word in several different languages. Did you ever get it?
he sent it to me.
Yeah. I don't know if he sent it to Pulpit to the Pew or if he sent it to you personally or however, but he's the reason why I knew that word.
How did Ben know that?
Dude, Ben has a photographic memory.
So
What-
wait, which word did
Yeah.
Ben use?
The
The
hippo
hippo
minstros whatever. Dude, that word gave me nightmares.
I don't ever remember. I don't have.
I think he might have sent it in an email. He said he emailed it.
I will say he showed me that earlier for Easter. But anyways, it's a purple paisley suit coat, like going to prom or something.
Yeah. Does that surprise you?
No, not really. He'd go with his purple basketball shoes.
He don't have those no more.
I know, but it's fun.
Now they're blue.
Speaking of Easter,
No,
with it,
I don't have his.
I'll have to
email.
ask him about
They'll
it.
have to send it again.
Yeah. He said he spent the time like putting that in 14 different languages.
Oh my word!
that's
Google,
somebody that
Google
has
Translate, man.
that's somebody that has too
His
much
phone's
time on
turned
hand.
off, where I would totally have him text it to me because I would love to read that. That is so funny, dude.
Yeah.
You're bringing up Easter. You guys getting ready because Easter's coming up this week.
Not yet. I still got to get my Easter eggs for church.
Yeah. By the way, I think a lot of people still have to get their Easter eggs for church.
If you're listening,
If you're listening,
get your Easter eggs
From
out
the-
to Sister Shavonda.
she texted me. She's like, we've only got a couple more weeks left. Can we can I put something in the church messenger? I was like, yeah. Go ahead.
No.
It's crazy. I'm not used to it being so late in the year. I'm used to it being like
I always thought it was in March for some reason.
And normally it's like first or last week of March, beginning of April is normally when I feel.
Every
I
so
remember
often
being
it falls late, obviously, because it's late considering how it normally is.
Easter's such a special time. It's like there's 2 times a year when everybody comes to church, and it's Easter and then Christmas. I think it's.
Is that the only reason why it's special?
Dude, back to the
No,
Christmas
I
episode.
seriously, hold on. I seriously thought he was going all like I'm ready for his spiritual. Like it's such a special time.
Well, it is because you get more people in the churches where I was going, and the fact that they're more reverent.
I was waiting for him to do what he did during during Christmas and go, it's such a special holiday for our movement.
That's a big boat.
All right, for the real crazy story of the day, but Jonathan, I can tell you something. I think you're getting more and more support for this Waffle House thing.
I love it.
Because I got this story sent to me by 5 different people. My sister-in-law sent it to me. Sister Hannah Brumfield, my cousin Drew Crabtree, and our brother John Mountain from Columbus sent me this all as well. Especially, and maybe a couple others, and I'll probably get hit for not remembering who it was. But their local Waffle House in Grove City, which isn't, most of them are all South Columbus, so Grove City is not that far away from them. They sent me a headline, and it simply states, "Tooth found at the Waffle House." Okay.
I love this. Man, this episode's easy for me to be positive on.
But here in Grove City, there was a man by Kai Eccles, took a bite out of hash browns at a Grove City Waffle House this month, and said he wound up with a tooth that didn't belong to him. And his words said, this is him speaking, says it was a human tooth. So this was, I don't want to give the direct location where this was, but it was a late night. It was 8 p.m., March 15th. So I guess this was last month when this happened. Said him and a group of buddies was sitting there eating, boasted that they were Waffle House regulars. But what is so funny is that they went through and asked everybody at the Waffle House behind the counter and asked if they were missing any teeth. For one, we know everybody that works at the Waffle House is missing a tooth or two. And most people who eat at the Waffle House are missing a tooth or two. Okay? We know this is the reality. We still love Waffle House, though. But the problem, they went on to research it, and they believe that it came from their distributors.
Yes.
Distributors to the food. Yes. And the only thing that they would say is that they wish that they would have went through more vigorous quality control for that.
So at all.
Huh?
So at all.
So some type of forefront of going over this. But they never said they would never go back. That they wouldn't go back.
My question is, did they confirm for a fact that dude didn't just drop a tooth?
I like how you were trying to defend the fact there was a human
No, I'm
tooth
just-
in a waffle.
Well, so
It has. Come on, it's not that far fetched at a Waffle House for somebody to find a human tooth.
well, when I was growing up, they found a human thumb in Wendy's chili, which ended up not being real.
I thought that was real.
No, the
No,
dude
somebody
planted it.
Oh,
The guy planted it.
who carries around a? That's so weird. Never mind. I'm not even going to try and open that can
You
of
think
worms.
that, but people do walk around with little blue toy chests or treasure chests full with their wisdom teeth and stuff in it when they get extracted.
So my question is, being that it is a White Castle faithful,
Waffle House.
White Castle. Wow, where'd that one come from? Waffle House faithful. I mean, they're one of the same. Just one's a
They're
more,
brothers.
one's a burger joint. Let's just face it. But being a Waffle House faithful, did they check to make sure that he wasn't freshly missing a tooth?
I guarantee they were all missing teeth.
Yeah, but if you've got one there, it's fresh.
They never said if it was a fresh tooth or not. All they said that they believe it came from their distributors. And
That is
to
hilarious,
the
though.
comment from the Waffle House, if I can find it here.
That just goes to show I'm not that wrong. Okay. I will eat Waffle House.
Oh, wait, hold on. This is so funny. So Gressley, his friend, said that ordered the hash browns smothered and covered with cheese and onions. And Eccles took a bite off his plate. And Eccles said, I thought it was gristle, but it was not gristle.
Dude.
And he said, I have all my teeth.
So there you go.
There's his answer.
He didn't plan it.
Did they confirm?
Well, they seem to, according to the article, they believe it came from the distribution center.
So this is the account. It was said that the regional manager made sure that none of their staff was missing any teeth.
Only at Waffle House can you read that. Only, dude. Look, I get it because they're always open. They're always, but literally, it just fits it to a T. That is hilarious.
His buddy said, I think it's important that something like this just isn't brushed under the rug, right? Question mark.
You know where it
Although
should
we
go?
decided not to pay for a meal, even though the check was on the table after that discovery, I think that there has to be some sort of action taken to make sure that these things aren't happening.
You know what?
Well, hold on, wait a minute. So they gave them the bill?
Yeah.
Like they expected them. Okay. Now that right there is
Pure Waffle House treatment.
yeah,
You know what?
pure
Though?
courage.
Tis the Waffle House experience.
It shouldn't have been swept under the rug, but it should have been put under the pillow. For the tooth fairy.
Wow.
I don't know. I think I would go wah, 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 on that one.
Come on. That was all right.
Okay, here's a split decision. I think you deserve the rim shot. He believes that you
That's fine.
deserve that
And I got one of each.
Sound there.
I got
okay?
one of each, so I'm okay.
So,
with
in the comments, let us know who thought it was funny, who thought it wasn't. There you go. The people had the power.
it. And that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Most of them probably don't believe in the tooth fairy.
No, most of them believe mom and dad come in and steal it.
Well, that's because mom and dad does.
Yeah, I know it.
I was talking to my wife's sister was talking about the tooth fairy, and she's like, "Man, I can't cover inflation for teeth because every time one of my kids loses teeth, they expect more money." So,
Dude, I see where parents are giving $20 and $40.
no way, dude.
Dude, I would be broke.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any kids. Now, if it was my own teeth, man, that'd be great. I'd be doing good.
You'd be out a lot of money to try and get them replaced.
They ain't replaced. Therefore, I'm a true faithful Waffle House.
You know,
Patron.
look, like I said, I'm trying to be more positive. I understand. Like I said, a lot of people like Waffle House, and they said they'd go back. So that means they really like it.
No, they didn't say they didn't say they would go back.
They
They
just said
never-
it doesn't need to be swept under the rug.
Well, they never said that they would never go back.
Yeah. So
So there was never a statement there. I'm just pointing out the obvious that Waffle House customers are always going to be Waffle House customers.
Yeah, because like I said, I will maintain it's the only place
But
you can order a
here's the
felony
thing.
as a side.
This is the expectation of the Waffle House. Is it not? This is a possibility.
okay, so
You have to admit that is pure. Like that could not have been written any better to be a disclaimer on what the Waffle House experience could
No,
be.
the most disclaiming part that says Waffle House is that they set the bill on the table. That is by far the most
I will
Waffle
say
House
they
thing.
didn't ask for a tip. At least, I mean,
you don't know that.
guarantee-
The tip gets
yeah.
asked for automatically.
with the bill.
yeah, I know that. But have you ever went to a restaurant and somebody's like, "Oh, don't forget to leave a tip." Okay, I said it. That's mostly Chinese restaurants that do that. Sorry.
That's when you're ordering
They come.
Pessies.
Oh, you want order to go? Oh, you want any tip? $20 tip.
Let me ask
It's
you.
like, I
Okay,
just got $6 wontons. That's all I got. And you want $20 tip?
are you ready for my? This might be negative. I'm trying not to, but I'm just. What do you think about restaurants adding gratuity to your check before you ever get it?
I don't disagree with it on big parties. So like
Okay.
certain restaurants that we've went to at like the church, if there's like a group of 18 or more, they'll add it to your check. But I will tell you this: If you put it on my bill, I'm not giving you any additional.
Well, I don't even with the big group, because a big group doesn't split a bill or doesn't pay for one bill. Typically, you don't have this big group on one check.
Right.
So each individual family is paying gratuity. So as far as I'm concerned, and you know for a fact that when they add to gratuity, they're not leaving 15% or 10% or whatever it is.
It's 18. Most of the time, it's 18%.
Right. Which is about what I tip anyway.
Yeah.
Give or take.
I think tipping has gotten out of hand. I think too many places are asking for a tip.
Listen, if I'm going through Dunkin' and I order a coffee and you hand out the machine asking for a tip, I'm giving you a big fat no.
Yeah.
Same.
You're not really serving me. You're not even having to clean up after me after I leave.
Well, even like
any fast food does not deserve it.
Yeah. I think if you're doing anything like a Subway or like a Chipotle or something like that.
Now, if I went to like an old time diner where like they'd come out with like skates or something, I might do a tip because that's kind of cool. You know, the experience of it might be a little different.
Nah.
But no, I genuinely, like I said, that Waffle House story just kind of paints the picture of what Waffle House is.
But to go back to it, though, I don't expect to find a tooth in my Waffle House. Like, if they said that there was crumbs on the table, or if they said that they handled their food without gloves, or, you know, something like that, like, yeah, okay, you're at Waffle House, man, that's, but to bite into somebody else's tooth.
But let's just admit it. When I read the story, you were not shocked that happened at
No,
Waffle
if it's
House.
going to happen anywhere, it's going to happen at Waffle House.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, as far as like, if we're going to do a stereotypical, there's stereotypes that would describe Waffle House in a nutshell. Am I not wrong?
You're not getting any argument from
listen,
me.
it's not changing my opinion on the Waffle House because, listen, it is what it is.
That
That's all it
happened in Columbus. We're not in Columbus.
No, I visit Columbus. That's my hometown. But like,
I will say that's the one thing when Brother Sean was telling us about the article, the first thing that came out of his mouth was, I ate at that Waffle House.
Yeah, man. I've ate at that Waffle House a million times. Actually, my best friend, when he got married, that's the Waffle House that we went to the day of for breakfast before he got married.
What a crazy breakfast to eat before your wedding.
Dude, we were
Back in that day, they had steak and eggs.
Dude, he was I'm not old. Actually, I think they did a steak and egg back then when I went.
That's been since COVID.
I mean, he was like 18 and I was like 16. So like we were young and broke, dude. Like there was no offense about it.
My breakfast was actually Chick-fil-A. My wedding day breakfast was Chick-fil-A.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't tell you anything about what my breakfast was. I don't think I ate.
Oh, I puked that day though. I puked after I ate it because I was so nervous. Whenever I get super nervous, I puke.
I wasn't nervous because we didn't have a big thing. So I got married behind the church and there was like maybe 20 people there. Brother Ryan wasn't even there, I don't think.
No, I wasn't there.
During COVID?
You got married during COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, you told me that story.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But no, that's just funny that I'm glad you read that. You know, I appreciate you reading that story because even you could have buried that under the rug like they were trying to bury that too.
I don't take any sides here. Am I prejudiced for it? Yeah, a little bit. But I am open to see all the potential views of the situation. It's only fair. It's the only Christian thing to do, and that's what we are. We're a Christian podcast.
Could you imagine being the guy in the distribution factory putting all that up, and all of a sudden a tooth drop, and just sit there and stirring the taters, going.
I just think
I'm not getting tired.
You know what? I just think kind of what I think is like it's a conveyor belt, like it's just like almost like a plant, like a mechanical on a metal.
Can I tell you something that would be even funnier? Well, that would make it like over the top Waffle House, as if it was a tooth with grills on it.
It had a cap.
It had a golden cap or something with it. But you know, if it was like just an empty cap, like there's no teeth in it or nothing, just a cap.
You know though, for the tooth to fall out, the person had to do something. They had to hit themselves in so could you imagine doing the investigation and just watching?
I read in here that when they went to do the investigation, they were like, "Oh, we cook our potatoes at over 200 degrees. I'm sure they're fine." Seriously.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. And they were like, the plates get washed at over 300 degrees. There's nothing wrong with it. Oh, yeah.
You just go ahead and chew on that tooth.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's texture.
It's crunch.
Yeah, there's some crunch. Forget smothered and covered. We're getting some crunchy.
I used to install security systems, cameras and stuff, and I remember I was working in a place in Louisville, and they did like protein stuff, protein shakes and stuff like that, and so everything there, we was installing a camera system. It wasn't fully live yet, but everything there is like pristine. You got to go through a clean room in order to get in any of their manufacturing area where they do all that stuff. And their new safety director come up and was talking to me, was like, can you show me this such and such camera? Because this individual was pulling a box. They had where they would ship stuff out. They had boxes in bundles, and they had them overhead. And so when you ran out of your boxes that wasn't bundled, you had to pull them over your head, pull them down, and then unbundle them and grab your individual boxes. She's like, this person ended up having to go to the doctor because she concussed herself by pulling a box, those bundle of boxes, and it whacked her in the head.
Oh my word!
And so I'm having to work with this security lady to find this thing, and thankfully I found it on camera because it was comedy gold. Like, could you imagine going to your family? It's like, yeah, you guys, I got concussed today because I got hit in the head with a box. So my imagination, and what's even greater is the representative, because this system was a fairly new system that we installed, and it was the largest camera system that our company had taken on at that time. So we had called for an actual representative from the camera company to come out to help train everybody and get everybody in it, and it kind of trained me at the same time. And so I showed him that clip, and that dude like belly laughed and saved it and took it with him. So you know this guy's like, this lady's getting knocked out every single day because somebody's sharing that clip. So can you imagine just watching this dude or lady, whatever the case may be, knock themselves in the mouth and then just stir it in?
I can attest to this. Believe it or not because of video, but because of a recording that happened to me. I was working in customer service for an insurance company, and I started off a phone call by going, "Welcome to blah 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 company," and they were like, why did you do that? I was like, well, the phone was ringing, so I had to pick it up, and I was, I was tired and I yawned. That was just what happened. And they were like, well, number one, you can't do that. I was like, it seemed fine to me. It worked. I got through the conversation where they were like, well, just so you know, we're going to use this in training courses from here on out on the do nots of while answering a phone. So I'm pretty sure I'm still on the records. That was like 9 years ago.
That's like hilarious.
That. Yeah. But I do want to, we keep introducing some new segments in here. And I kind of want to take a little serious note here on this portion here. It's called What You Listening To? And this is songs that we've been listening throughout the week or something. And this is what I've been listening to. I've got recruited to play some music for a youth rally. And this is the song that they sent me. And I mean, I've been listening to it a lot. But even outside of listening how to play it and stuff like that, this song kind of just spoke to me. And hopefully this will touch somebody and you'll be able to listen to it. So here it is.
From the start, helpless, left alone in the dark, defenseless, my life is falling apart, hopeless, unaware of who you are. So glad I don't look like what I have been through. I can't imagine my life without you. You came and made me a testimony.
So that song is called Miracles. Never thought that I would be one. And that's by the Indiana Bible College. And I got to looking at that, listen to that song. And one of the things that, Brother Ryan, you say a lot inside church and things like that is that modern day Christianity is okay with being broken. Mm-hmm. And when I got to listen to that song, it's like, when God saved me and he purchased me with his blood, I'm no longer broken.
Yep. I
am 100% what he's intended for me to be. So, I believe salvation, that work is immediately, and there's an immediate sanctification that happens there. But there's also a progressiveness of it to where we have to stay sanctified. But in that moment, when you give your life to God, he instantly puts you back together. You still have problems. You still have the day-to-day life, the issues that go on. And then to think the greatest miracle that could ever happen to somebody's life is that gift of salvation that he gives to us.
Amen.
Yeah. So salvation is by far the greatest miracle that you ever read in the Bible, because it takes a creature, a person, it takes an individual in all of their anguish and all their pain, in their separation, whatever you want to put. I know when I got saved, I was young when I got saved, but at the time that I was there, I was looking at going to prison or jail. I had got into things that was at a young age that was, just destroying my life.
Yeah.
Before I could ever truly get my life started, I was 14 when I got saved, and I was looking at so many different avenues that if I would have went down or looked at that, and this is somebody that was raised in church. Church wasn't new to me.
Right.
I had hatred. I was alone. I was again, the greatest thing that I could say is truly I was broken. And the time that I went to church, I went there, we were in a car accident, and my dad almost died. My brother almost died. It's a miracle that none of us died, to be honest with you. And we were on our way to church, of all places. My dad had just rededicated his life, and we were going back to service that night on Mother's Day. And this car accident happens, and I remember when I see my dad in the emergency room, he said, I don't ever, because I didn't want to go to church that night. I fought tooth and nail. Mm-hmm. I didn't care. Church was pointless. I didn't have any desire for it. I didn't think that I needed it. I was messed up. And when we come out of that car accident, and I see my dad in the emergency room, and I at that time didn't know what all God had done for my dad. He looked at me and he said, I don't ever want to hear you say anything about going to church again, because it was by the grace of God that we were all still alive.
Made it out.
And I remember when everybody got out, there was some time for recovery. The first time we went back to church, I can't tell you what anybody preached. I can tell you who preached, and I know where I was at. I can't tell you the message. I can't tell you anything that happened. But what I can tell you is my heart was just breaking out of my chest, because this person who was full of hatred, who was full of loneliness, who was dabbling in things that was destroying his life, felt somebody call and say that I want to take all of that and I want to give you eternal life. I love you. I had nothing to offer. Mm-hmm. And we are living in a day, the pretext or to give some context to why I say that in church is the biggest thing that people are claiming, and they're almost using it like a badge of honor, is this term broken. I'm broken. And a lot of them say I'm broken and I don't want to be fixed. And really that's a lie. Nobody wants to be broken. Nobody wants to stay. When you get into that, when you get into the depth of it, and you get people to actually be honest with themselves. But they wear it around today, especially among young people. They wear it around today like it's this badge of honor. We're broken. And I was on my way to a job site, and this church said that we are a church full of broken people for broken people, or something of that nature. And I read that and I said, that's such a defeatist mentality.
Mhm.
Can I say that when I got saved, all my problems went away? No. Can I say that when I got saved, that some of the things that I was facing when I was lost, all of a sudden miraculously became right? No, not at all.
Yeah.
But what I can say is when I got saved, I wasn't that same individual.
Yeah.
And I had to go through some things that my actions led me to before I got saved, but he brought me through.
Yeah. It's almost like, and you guys can correct me in my thought of this, is that the enemy has taken the idea of being a victim, has given people a free pass to be whatever they want, do whatever they want, almost as if they're the victim who's become a victor because of that victim. Like they're owed that right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this happened to me, so I wear this, you said, as the badge of honor. I get this free pass. I can continue in my ways and be okay. And I was thinking, and I'll probably get some hate on this, but with that hard fought Hallelujah song with Jelly Roll and what's his name, Brandon Lakes. It's like I can't stand that, because when you go and you listen to Jelly Roll, which if you don't know who he is, he's a country artist, I think is what he does. Is it country rap or something like that? He's
modern country, I guess you would say.
If you go and listen to his interviews with Brandon Lakes, and they do a podcast together, is that he pretty much says, well, I'm a Christian, but I'm just kind of trying to find my way through here because I'm working myself through some stuff. No, that's not how this thing works. When we get saved, are there things that have to change in our life? Yeah, there's things that have to change, immediately. There is, and there's a growth process into that. But when I gave my life to Christ, it was not a bargaining table. It was not, well, I can come to church, or I can go out and party all night Saturday night and drink and cuss and do all these terrible things, and then come in Sunday morning and get up and sing about the glories of God and how I have victory in Jesus. That's not how it was. I had to live the same outside of church as I did inside of church, because that's what he did for me. The church is the making and body of Christ. We're a body to be his bride. And I don't know. I just, when I got to listen to that song, it really did something to me, where we've got to get over all the hurt and the pains of I'll never be what God wants me to be. I can never meet the standard that God wants me to be. And I'm not talking about standards as far as what we would put in the holiness movement, but as far as just being a Christian.
Yeah.
Live in a godly way that the Bible says to live. And we've got to accept that he has pulled us out of darkness and brought us into this marvelous light. He said, walk in the light.
Yeah.
Well, and it's not, you're more than a conqueror through Christ, right? Like, the mentality that the Bible teaches is not one of defeat, but it's one of victory. And people that play the victim and say, well, I had this happen to me. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know where I've been. You don't know what I've seen. You're right, I don't know, but God does, and he saved you anyway. Not for you to bask in your glory, because and kind of to speak a little bit, we almost glorify the testimonies of, oh, I was a drug addict. Oh, I was an alcoholic. Oh, man, look at what God did for them.
Yeah.
But what a more special testimony. Because like Brother Ryan said, I wasn't in church until I turned 18 years old. I knew about church my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was basically raised in it. And to give you a little bit of my testimony, kind of to talk about, I was 18 years old. I was 3 credits away from graduating high school, and I was going to drop out. Throw my life away. I hated school, didn't want to go, and I was 3 credits away, and I was going to throw it away. And me and my mom had a spirited discussion, is what I'll call it.
Yeah.
And basically, it was like it was a screaming match.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll never forget it. I told her I was done. I was going to drop out. I didn't want to go anymore, and I was quitting. I was done. And I'll never forget, though, we were yelling. It had been an hour and a half, 2 hour screaming match, and like I said, you need to honor your parents. Let me preface that I was out in sin, and so was my mom. But I'll never forget it. I was laying in my bed, pitch black. Mom's in her room, and I said, "Let's go to church on Sunday." Out of nowhere, and to my surprise and to her surprise, she said, "Okay." And we went on Sunday night, and we both gave our heart to the Lord that night. I mean, it started, and it turned I graduated high school. I finished my high school, and God has kept me. And it's just because I don't know where I would have went.
Right.
You know what I mean? You really don't know. And it's a miracle. It's a miracle that I stayed out of wherever I could have ended up.
Yeah.
So the miracle is that, but you don't have to live a defeated, broken life. You can be made whole and you can be victorious, but you just got to stop dwelling on this victim mentality.
Yeah.
I think that's really what it boils down to. I think our church is taking on a victim mentality, and we're not victims. We're conquerors.
Yeah.
We're more than conquerors.
Well, you've heard both their sides now, and I'm the opposite. I grew up in church. I got saved when I was 3 years old. Always had a desire to serve God, but that does not. And for those of you who are listening to what Brother Jonathan said, and you say, "Well, I don't have a testimony because I've been in church all my life." That is the greatest testimony you'll ever have.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to say that you haven't seen miracles in your life, well, I'm going to tell you what. Every day that you walk, and you're able to abstain from sin, and being able to, or even there's been times that unfortunately, I can't say that I didn't abstain from it. But the times that I embraced it and I willfully sinned, that I was able to meet grace. And there's another miracle. Being able, every time that you go to him and he offers more grace, and we turn away and we repent the way the Bible says to do it, not to go back and, to fester in it and to lift it up. But those are miracles that we feel every time that we talk with God.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is an amazing thing, that gift of salvation, and you grow as you go. It's like any other relationship. I met my wife, and it took a while for her to like me like I liked her, but you continue to talk, you continue to have your way. And when we finally started dating, it wasn't an I instantly love you. We grew. That's a relationship, and that's our relationship with God. God saves you. He saved me out. There was things that changed right then and there. I quit worrying about certain things. I quit dwelling on certain things. He changed within. That's that in the book of Romans where he says that the Spirit of God worketh within our spirit.
Yeah.
That's how we know we're saved. There's a working internally that happens, that indwelling of the Spirit of God that changes so we can know. I can know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm saved. But then at the same time, it's a relationship thing. Can I live the standard of God? No, I can't.
Yeah.
But I'm not living it by myself. I'm not trying to do it on my own. The biggest thing now is you've got people that's put themselves in there.
Mm-hmm.
We've limited God. God is not limited. There's no limited power to God. God saved me from a lot of things. My wife, on the other hand, was saved at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
She was filled with the Holy Ghost at a young age. And I remember when we were dating and we were engaged at this time, she was telling me that she didn't feel like she had a testimony because, she doesn't know. Yeah. She doesn't know the taste of alcohol. She doesn't know the feeling of being high, if you will, of what drugs can do, or she doesn't know, the draw to smoking or any of those other things, breaking from worldly music, because that is something that gets a hold of people. The addictions of the world. She doesn't have those scars, know, and that's what she told me. She told me one day, she said, I don't have, because my testimony doesn't speak of that. And that's not a brag on it. That's mine either. I say that, not giving glory to my past. I'm giving glory to God because He brought me out of the addictions of this world. And I looked at her and I said, your testimony is greater than mine. Not because my my salvation was any different. But she's at least, that testimony is at least just as powerful, because when I see myself, I see my scars.
Yeah.
And when she sees herself, she can say, I'm the one that can show you, because there is something out there that says that, well, yeah, but you can't live it, or any of that nature. I talked with a young man when we were going to school, and when I was in high school, and he said that I just have this picture that God saves you. When you get done and you get saved, he pats you on the back and he says, now just try to do the best that you can. And that's the picture that I paint God. And when you live it that way, you're saying that God has no power.
Right.
He doesn't just pat you on the back and say, now do the best that you can. He saves you, and he says, now you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking with you. And you do the best that you can through me. Have that relationship with me. It's not a, I hope that you can make it. It's not a, I hope, no, not at all. It's, I know that I can make it, because I'm a child of God. And my wife can say, I know that not only can I make it, but I know that I can abstain. I can live this, not because of who I am, but because of the miracle that Christ has done in my life.
And I do want to say, I don't mean that if you do have a testimony of like me or Brother Ryan, we're not taking away or throwing off.
No,
I think both testimonies are beautiful in two different ways. One, the one that's abstained, like yours, Brother Sean, that's never really dabbled in that world of sin, talks about the keeping power of God, what God can keep you in, and how he can keep you away, and how you can abstain, and how you, I mean, that testimony is beautiful. And then the testimony of what he can do to bring you out. Both of them serve a purpose, and both of them are beautiful, and both of them work together.
Right.
Because when I look at, so like for me, my cousin Jared is that kind of that reference for me, who never knew sin. He was raised in church and stuff. I look at him as an inspiration of knowing that God kept him all those years. So he, now that I've gave my heart over to the Lord, he can now keep me, because he's done it for him. And so I look at the ones that have that clean, I guess we'll call it a clean bill, for lack of a better term, for all. I know all have sinned and come short of the glory of God, but the ones that have the clean, like I never knew this, and this, and this. That's an inspiration to me, because and I can feed off of that, because I know God can keep me. So I'm thankful for the miracle of salvation, because we talk, when people think of miracles, they think of, healing blinded eyes, or the time that a person had cancer and they were healed. But salvation is truly the greatest miracle, because it puzzled everybody. Nicodemus said, how can a man be born again? I mean, it puzzled the scholars of Jesus's time. It is a wonderful, wonderful miracle, the gift of salvation.
Yeah, and just to add to this, and we'll bring it to a close here. Growing up, I sat in my pastor's office, Brother Mike Nichols, and I remember being a young man battling with something. Words were never discussed on what was going on. He had no idea. And he told me, he said, Brother Sean, he said, if you will abstain from the desires of your heart, he said, down the road, the mind battles that you face will be so much less than, because the enemy can't bring scars that aren't there to your mind. So, in thinking about this, if you have something that is battling you, and this song, the miracles, it doesn't just stop at salvation, but it belongs in our lives. We ought to see miracles every day in our walk with God. If you need a miracle in your life, I know a God that's still able to give it to you. So with all that being said, and in closing here, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. A lot of laughs here in the beginning. Hopefully you don't find a tooth in your Waffle House. Hash browns. Sister KK, look the next time that you go to eat those. But you know what? We're still looking for miracles. And if you have one, go ahead and submit it to us. We'll love to share those. And that'll be another portion that we can give. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a good night.